Good morning to you all here. Happy Sunday, May 4th, 2025. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. It's also Star Wars Day for any people out there that love Star Wars. Just wanted to put that out there as well. It is May that 4th. Hope you guys are doing well. We've got a lot of things to talk about today. I also want to mention something very, very briefly, guys. If you guys have not checked out my website, my mesomatwx.com website, the merch has been dropped. We dropped it last night at 10 p.m. Central Time. It is free for you guys to go and buy now, so definitely go check that out. The link is going to be in my bio below as well as underneath of this video. Make sure y'all definitely go check that out. A lot of hard work that Rochelle has done in terms of making the merch look good, but it is all up. It is ready to go. There's also ideas on there, or there's also a link on there where you guys can go and put ideas or special requests in for merch that you would like in the future, as well as for Rochelle to make custom. So definitely go check that out. We'll be advertising that a lot. We're going to go and start out with today's video and talk about what's going on here with our weather this morning. And we've got two different systems ongoing here. The first one over here along the west coast, this is what's going to be giving us a severe weather, basically setup, multi-day setup here today, tomorrow, into Tuesday, and into Wednesday, and possibly even into Thursday across the New Mexico and Texas border there, and going into central Texas and eastern Texas later on at the middle of the week. We've also got an upper level system here that is still spinning. I mentioned yesterday in our video that this low pressure system is basically going to be stalled out for the next 2 days. It is still here. It is still bringing through severe weather here. We did actually see a couple of tornadoes yesterday in Georgia. And I do want to mention something, guys. We were going so many days straight with severe weather coverage. I had to take yesterday and the day before off. We'll more than likely be taking today off as well. We're not expecting any significant severe weather today. We'll be back into doing live coverage tomorrow as need be. But there's going to be days, guys, where I can't cover. So I just want you guys to know I am a human being. It can happen. I'm trying to keep myself from either getting sick or just going so hard where I run myself into the ground. So there's going to be days where we miss. Luckily, yesterday we didn't really have any confirmed tornadoes. There were a lot of tornado warnings along that squall line that was in Georgia yesterday, but not really any confirmed tornadoes. So we'll keep you guys updated on that. So as I mentioned here, though, like I said, upper level low sitting over the Ohio Valley, that cold front extending back down here into the East Coast. That is going to allow for some severe storms for today. We do have a marginal risk for severe weather. That's a level 1 risk out of 5. That basically goes from the western Pennsylvania line into southeast Ohio and all the way down here into portions of Florida. And we'll talk about that here in a second. We also got a level 2 and level 1 risk for the New Mexico, Texas line over here. So other than that, very, very quiet pattern here, split down the middle. We're going to have an omega block pattern that's going to set up over the next couple of days. We'll talk about that on the model runs here in just a minute. If you're down in the southeast along the Gulf, enjoy. It's going to be nice. It's going to be quiet for the next couple of days before things start to get more active as we go towards the end of the week for now. We're going to go and start out with the Storm Prediction Center outlook for today. We have a day 1 slight risk here and a day 1 marginal risk. That marginal risk, as I mentioned a minute ago, extending basically from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania through Columbus, Ohio here, back down here into portions of the East Coast and the Southeast, all the way down here to Miami. So we're actually looking at an isolated tornado risk that extends from Pennsylvania all the way down to Miami, Florida today. So just have a way to get alerts on your phones. Be mindful that severe weather could be possible for today. That we've got a level 1 and a level 2 risk back over here into New Mexico and far extreme West Texas up into central and northern New Mexico. 2% tornado risk there in the green, and then 2% tornado risk over in portions of Albuquerque and Santa Fe down towards the Texas line there in New Mexico. And then that 2% tornado risk that goes from Pittsburgh all the way down through Raleigh, North Carolina, through Charleston, Savannah, and down into Orlando and Miami. So like I said, not a tornado outbreak, not a severe weather outbreak. Just be mindful. Low-end tornado potential will be on the table for today for any storms that do become discrete or semi-rotation or semi-discrete to produce rotation. We've also got a damaging wind threat at 5% on both risk zones, and the hail threat is hatched over here in southern New Mexico. We do have a little area here where we could see some larger hail up to 2+ inches over or diameter. And then outside of that, we have 1 to 2 inch diameter hail in the marginal risk in those 5% risk zones. So like I said, just a low-end day for severe weather today. Just be mindful if you're out and about. We go to tomorrow's forecast, and we do have a level 1 and level 2 severe weather risk once again. This is going to be our main area of focus right here. It's going to be the West Texas and New Mexico line. This is where we're basically going to have a upper level trough that's basically going to sit here. It's not going to move. It's going to continue to bring in enough shear and stability. Dew points are going to be decent. We'll have enough for an elevated tornado risk tomorrow. Now, there is a higher tornado risk tomorrow. I'll get to that here in a second. But damaging winds and hail will be the more concerning threat, but the tornado threat will also be there. We've also got general thunderstorms and a low-end marginal risk that basically goes from Cleveland, Ohio, back through Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, into Washington, D.C., Baltimore, down through Virginia and eastern North Carolina, and then another little marginal as well. We're still going to have this cold front basically sitting here giving us the threat for severe weather. Once again, low end days on those. Small 2% tornado risk back into Orlando, Fort Myers, and Miami, down towards Melbourne as well. And then a 2 and a 5% tornado risk, now an elevated tornado risk here for Midland and Odessa and Lubbock, Texas, I should say, for the threat for a couple of tornadoes tomorrow. We will be covering this tomorrow afternoon. Just to give you guys a heads up on that, we'll be back in coverage mode. We've also got a wind threat tomorrow, 5% along the Ohio River Valley up there into the northeast and down into Florida. And then we've got a 15 and a 5% chance for seeing damaging winds up to 60 to 70 miles per hour back into Texas and eastern New Mexico and southern portions of Colorado. Now, the hail threats where things get a little bit more interesting, 5% in both regions for 1 to 2 inch diameter hail from the northeast to the Florida Panhandle there and into eastern Florida. And then we have a 5% that goes into the Texas Panhandle up into central Texas and into eastern New Mexico. And then a 15% hatched hail risk here for hail up to 2+ inches in diameter. I wouldn't be shocked to see hail exceed 3 inches in diameter for some of these storms from Lubbock down to Fort Stockton again. So once again, setting up the same pattern as we saw last week, at the beginning of last week that went multi-day. We saw a couple tornadoes last week during these areas. We saw some large hail, significant large hail. Almost a couple areas saw 5-inch diameter hail. We saw DVD-sized hail end up happening. So just something to be mindful of for those 3 days. We also, once again, go to the day 3 forecast. We have another area. We start to see this trough move on your Tuesday here as we're expecting a level 2 slight risk here from north of San Antonio up through Waco, Austin, Lufkin, and into the Houston metro area. Marginal risk that extends outside of that. General thunderstorms in the northeast and up into Florida and into the central and southern plains there. Probabilistic categories not just showing no hatched regions right now, so we're not looking at anything significant. We're looking at the threat probably for all modes of severe weather. We'll have to watch out for you guys here along the Red River down through Dallas and into central and southeast Texas here. So that's going to be the day 1 through day 3 outlook. We don't have anything for the day 4 through 8 outlook as of right now. We'll keep you guys posted if anything happens with that. We'll go ahead and switch over to our model runs here. We'll talk about what's going to happen the next 2 days here in the Texas area here. And you're going to see showers and storms are going to initiate here along that boundary, that front that's moving through that surface level low is going to develop over the New Mexico and Four Corners line, and we're going to see showers and thunderstorms. Now, today I'm not too concerned about. A couple of these storms could produce an isolated tornado risk and some damaging winds. Tomorrow would be more concerning to me, at least what the models are spitting out. We're going to see those showers and storms move through. They dissipate by midnight. We see another round of showers and storms moving through New Mexico, up through northern Texas Panhandle. None of those are going to be severe. It should just be general rain showers and thunderstorms. And then we get to tomorrow's setup. Tomorrow looks a little bit more interesting. I would not be shocked to see a little enhanced risk be issued in the middle of that slight risk tomorrow. We'll see what happens with today's update. But a couple of these storms will have the potential for producing a couple of tornadoes, some damaging winds, and some large hail. That'll be through about 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon to about midnight, and then we're going to have overnight, we're going to have an MCS try to develop with a couple more supercells out in front of this and possibly even a damaging wind event going through West Texas and Central Texas through Tuesday morning. So something to be mindful of the next really 2 to 3 days here in Texas into Oklahoma. We're going to continue to see more of heavy rainfall move into Oklahoma. That's going to be another problem. Just looking at the overall, we'll look over here and look at the rainfall totals that we've got here for you guys briefly through the next 72-hour period. And I believe, like I said, this is going to produce some pretty significant rainfall. Yeah. We'll see anywhere from another 1 to 3 inches of rainfall with some isolated higher spots here. We don't need the rainfall in these areas. Again, we've seen it way too much over the last couple of days. Also, just looking at your tornado parameters here for the next couple of days here as well. Today, not super concerning. There'll be just enough there to get things going later on this evening. And then tomorrow, we start to see those tornado parameters work in a little bit closer, especially as we go through the overnight hours. I wouldn't be shocked to see, like I said, an elevated MCS move through with a couple QLCS tornadoes possible if that does, in fact, come to fruition as we go into the Monday night into Tuesday morning time frame. Now, I do want to go up here to the Ohio Valley, the Mid-Atlantic here, and talk about what we're going to see with you guys. As I mentioned, upper level low over the Ohio Valley, cold front well out to the east there. We're going to see showers and storms spin, and most times not. You can actually get, like I said yesterday, what's called cold air funnels with these storms. It's basically a funnel cloud that develops in the sky. You can get it off of these thunderstorms that move through. Most times not. The rotation stays aloft in the atmosphere. It doesn't actually reach down to the surface. Sometimes it can. If the National Weather Service sees that happening, they will issue a tornado warning. So just be mindful of that in this area. But rotating mini supercells around that low pressure system could cause a couple of spin up tornadoes, some damaging winds, some large hail, minor to decent sized hail, I should say 1 to 2 inches in diameter. That goes through about tomorrow, and then we get into Monday afternoon and into Tuesday, and we have a better chance of maybe seeing some elevated storms here, potentially produce a couple tornadoes, some damaging winds, and some hail. And then this system finally starts to move it out by Tuesday morning to mid-afternoon. We'll probably have another round of storms on Tuesday afternoon across the far northeast. We'll go down here to Florida as well here for you guys so you can see the southeastern portions of the picture here. As I mentioned, not too concerned about Florida. Those storms are going to be moving off by midday this afternoon. We'll see a couple more bubblers try to develop off the coastline there of Georgia and South Carolina. Those look to stay off the coast there, and we go into Monday's forecast here, and a couple more cells could fire off around the Orlando area down to Melbourne and Miami for a couple of isolated tornado potential and some damaging winds and some small hail. That's what we've got for your really 48-hour forecast. We'll talk more in depth on this as we go through tomorrow and into the next couple of videos. I do want to briefly touch on what's happening with our overall pattern going into the week here. And you can see, once again, I mentioned this yesterday, Omega block pattern setup. It's when you're you've got a ridge in the middle here, low pressure system to the east, low pressure system to the west. It gives you that omega lock symbol. This is going to be the more concerning low pressure system that we're going to watch move in across the West Pacific here and into the Four Corners today. This low pressure system down in the Ohio River Valley in the southeast will continue to move northeast very, very slowly here, and that's going to keep temperatures warm in the central plains at least through tomorrow. And then we just start to see these bowling ball troughs move in, and we're going to have a pretty decent negative tilt with this trough here. And what that does is that pulls in more instability, more shear, more just decent kinematics in the atmosphere to produce severe weather. And I definitely get more concerned about Tuesday's setup going into central and southern Texas, maybe more for a elevated tornado risk. We're going to have to see how this comes together here, but nevertheless, severe weather will be very, very much possible going into Texas, maybe even into Louisiana and southern Arkansas as we go into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this coming up week. And still seeing that low pressure system sitting off the Ohio River Valley to today through tomorrow and into Tuesday. This will continue to bring a pretty decent amount of showers and thunderstorms and a couple brief spin up tornadoes to the northeast, the Ohio River Valley over there. And then that's finally off the coast by Wednesday. And then I want you guys to notice something. This is something that's been trending a lot. This is the good thing. We like to see this happen. Is a pretty big ridge try to set up. We saw an attempt at this back in the middle of April. Did not come to fruition. That ridge just could not develop. It looks to be when we get into the month of May that ridging does start to become more of a possibility and actually happens. What ridging does is it allows for more of a quieter, dry pattern. Temperatures warm up tremendously. You don't really get a lot of rain. You don't really get a lot of showers and thunderstorms. And this could be a good thing for a lot of people to hopefully maybe dry out in. For people that have not seen a lot of rain, probably not a good thing. We do still have this upper level low cut off here underneath of that ridge going into Thursday and Friday of next week. And then eventually this moves off the coast and kind of just hangs around Florida, maybe giving some better chances of seeing some rain down here in Florida. You guys do need it. You guys haven't had a lot of rain here recently. And then going into, the middle of May, things get a little bit more uncertain in terms of what's going to happen with severe weather. I will mention here briefly, I do want to show you guys one quick thing. This is the extended severe weather forecast outlook here. Just looking at the week 1 accumulation supercell composite, this just gives us an idea of where we could see severe weather. This is going to be between May 4th today and May 10th. You can see where we're expecting the potential for more severe weather out between now and the next 6 to 10 days. Things get a little bit more interesting as we go into week 2 here, potentially seeing that ridge with still the potential for some severe weather, maybe going on May 11th through May 17th here. That would be the timing for this potential area. Now remember, take this with a grain of salt. This changes every couple of days here, so this may change once again. It probably will change for the better of things, but the severe weather may return going into the plains again May 11th, May 17th, and then as we go into the week 3 composite here going through May 18th and May 24th, it does look like we will continue to see an active trend for severe weather, maybe even uptrending as we get ready to go into June. So that's what I've got for you guys today. As always, I'm actually probably going to end up doing a chill live stream today for you guys. We'll be back in severe weather coverage for tomorrow. I hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday. Be safe, be weather aware, and we'll see you guys in the next one.